Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell below so you can get the updated video as we continue the journey. Thank you. Now let me continue about what we are going to discuss today. Today I had several calls from Georgetown, Guyana this morning that at State House, one of the security officer or whatever he may be at the time, or he is, I don't know. Can't how you get it, because Guyana people take a little thing and make it big, and the big one they pay no mind to it. So they called me and said, Mr. Correa, did you heard that a man was going to kill the president and one of his guard at State House was attacked and stabbed? I said, I'm not aware of it. But later down the day, I get another few views about it, that the man attacked one of the guard who was guarding State House. And everybody are calling it that it was an attempt on, who called me, it was an attempt on the president's life. Well, I asked a question. Where was the president at the time, if so be the case? Was he in the building? Or was he standing next to the security officer who was stabbed? No one could tell me that. Now, I condemn any sort of violence, whether it is from the politician, corrupt businessmen, and the courthouse and wicked police officer, and even ordinary citizen, because crime does not pay. But who have to gain into this area when a president, according to information alleged, could have been attacked or maybe his life was at stake? I'm just saying what I was told. My friends, I condemn any sort of crime. No man got a right to kill another man, especially in this civilized world of today, where we are all living with tyranny, darkness, corruption, and obstruction, and could hardly find food to put on the table to take care of our family. As you might see, in Peru, just next door to Brazil, is demonstration to remove government, a mayor, and others in the peaceful manner. The only one that using violence in that demonstration is the police with water cannon, tear gas, etc. While the protester got their banner and calling for the removal of the leader and to replace whoever they are calling to replace. My argument is plain and simple. Politicians around the world come to you like a beggar, only to be elected into the high office. And when they get there, they forgot their promise to you. I do not know Mr. Ali personally as the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, but I can tell you from my knowledge, he is doing his best as a young man, better than the late Fast Burnham, Cheddi Jagan, Mrs. Jagan, Mr. Barry Jackdale, Mr. Ramatar, and Mr. David Granger, not forgetting Mr. Desmond Hoyt. This young man was accused for many things, 19 counts, but was allowed to run for presidency. And by hooks and crooks, they won the election. And he was elected and was sworn into office. The country in which he take over is very divided between race, East Indian and blacks against each other. Because the modern generation from 1960s to now have no knowledge of the past. And yes, Indian got a right to be afraid of the black brothers, especially when they see the demonstration. And if they remember what happened in the 60s, one cannot forget it. These are the things your politicians don't want you to know. I understand, and I would not disrespect the four-legged animal, because I was about to say these jackass, but then I will be disrespecting the animal that was first the labor force to help man on the face of this earth. Even the prophets rode on their back. But Guyana, it's a question mark. I'm still asking question. Who is the real Guyanese? Is it the African descendant who every year claim emancipation? Or is it the East Indian descendant who claim day of arrival? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in prison and you're free, I think you should go back home. And if you arrive, your visa run out, it's time to go back home. Why am I saying it? Was the Portuguese dropped from the sky like an alien? Or he arrived? Was the Chinese dropped from the sky as an alien? Or they arrived? Why only the two illiterate fools got to claim emancipation and day of arrival? And yet we read the Quran, the Bible, and the Ramayana, and we have seen inside a lot of story that yet there's no explanation to. Things like the preacher says, forgive. God says forgive 70 times 7. And maybe the preacher read that, or maybe that's a make-believe. But did God himself give Lucifer 70 times 7 chances? Or did he throw him out of heaven, according to the Bible, with his fallen angel? And he named God. Did God forgive the generation in Noah's time when he flooded the world 70 times 7? And he is God. Why am I asking this question? You and I are temporary on this earth. And we fear God and we fear Lucifer the devil. Because no man wants to end up in hell. Because we made to understand it's a place with a lot of fire. But if hell is a place that you could rest in peace, even if you get 1 meal a day, it will be better than this third world country with these African corrupt leaders, dictators, and in Guyana, where politicians run the courthouse, the police force, and other area of criminality, but is protected by a thing called a constitution, which I call an institution. Because if they are the servant of the nation, then they shall not and must not be above the law of the land. If the law says, for murder you shall be tried, and if convicted you will be hanged, I think the president, the prime minister, and ministers in government should go according to that law for themselves also. Because they are not God. We can see them. We know their family, their friends, the corrupt elite that they're mixed with. Today, when I get the news that the president's life could have been taken, I condemn it. These are things should not happen. But again, what goes around comes around. We do not know if the president was there standing at the time when the man was attacked. But I will play devil advocate here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to know, they said the man is a Nigerian, a black man. That's what they say. I don't care whether he was a Chinese man, he was an East Indian man, he was an Amerindian, as we call them, Bachman, as a matter of disrespect to the people. I wanted to know if that man is mentally ill, that he just walk up to this guard with a gun in their hand. I know that place got 5-6 guards with machine gun and other guns to attack him with a knife. Then one should take into consideration that this is a mental ill patient, like Breakdown Police Station, where a prisoner in the jail burned down the prison from outside. I know about magician, I heard about Houdini, I heard about great magician, but Guyana got some of the greatest. When you can be in the jail and burn down the same station where you are housing in the jail, I don't want to hear anything more. That is where Mr. Ali government shake up and was wrong. All the police at that time on duty should have been arrested or put off the job until an investigation is being given out. Because there were other prisoners in the prison. When a mad prisoner says he burned the jail, the station down, how did he came out? Is he an invisible man? Or maybe had a ghost in the prison? I want to know. And on the East Coast, with the flooding, when the president showed up one morning, maybe they were sleeping, maybe they wasn't there, he spoke about it. All these people should have been put off the job until a proper investigation, because they're playing with the life and the safety and the freedom of the Guyanese people and even the government. Why am I saying that? Many of these police are corrupt. They kill for politicians. They kill for businessmen. They kill because many of them are racist. Even the magistrate and judges, when they do a crime, is a slap on the wrist, and the president, the prime minister, and all of them cannot do nothing. Take the Enmore story the other day with the young man, that young Bacchus, that it was stated, alleged the police shot him and killed him. Young black brother, the son of another human being like me, a young Guyanese. His future and life was sucked out of this world because of a Django in the police force, or a Clint Eastwood, or an Eddie Murphy. Those police should have been off the job until a proper investigation has been taken. But it seems like once it's not, the government and the minister's family and close associates and donors and corrupt businessmen, an investigation is just a song. Take Mr. Anthony Snow, that was wrongfully imprisoned because of a corrupt magistrate or judge and prosecutor, because of a woman named Shamin Mohammed, worked for a lawyer who knew all the court ministers and all the judges and magistrates and others. Let it be known to the Guyana government and the opposition. This will never come out of our vocabulary, and it is in the hands of the Human Rights Department, and we are waiting for an answer, Mr. Ali. When a young man in his business place called the police when a man was beaten, Mr. Horseman, well known as Ramdat, because he was drunk, and he turned around, all his camera footage, the police taken, the statement from his worker was thrown away because of a few fucking dollar bills, and maybe rest from corrupt businessmen, corrupt politicians. But God don't sleep, Ali. We all will die one day, whether by assassination, whether by drinking poison, getting knocked down, drive-by shooting, or criminality, which you know you, the politician, love to get criminals to do nasty work. I'm not accusing nobody. It's general knowledge around the third world. In Africa, they killed their opponent, blow up the plane, wipe the family out. Guyana, we see what happened to the late Walter Rodney, Owini, Dublin. We don't forget these things. We see what happened with the great Jesus Christ. When a governor tried to help him, he played with his life. What I'm saying here, many of the police in the police force in the West Indies and Africa, third world country, are very corrupt. I do feel that that man, if he was not mentally ill, did not attack that man just like that. Did he done the man something wrong? One have to question it. And there was no justice given unto him. Maybe he was beaten. Maybe he was locked up wrongfully. This matter, an investigation must be opened up to see what caused this man to attack this man at the place in question, State House. Because I cannot see a Nigerian, as they say he is, will attack a man just like that. But there's an old saying concerning the tiger and the sloth. The sloth or sloth, whatever you want to call it. The sloth says, I am slow, I am peaceful, but the tiger is a ruthless killer. But if he attack me, I will roll over and sink my 4 nails in his body, and he may have my neck in his mouth, but we both will die together. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a story of a tiger and a sloth or sloth, whatever you want to call it, because we have different way of pronunciation. I remember when COVID-19 just began, a policeman, I saw it on Facebook, if I remember right, And I didn't think my eyes think where a policeman shot an Amerindian guy on a bicycle because he didn't have on a mask. I know cases where police take men out of prison, middle night, strip them naked and beat them. Well, we got names. Didn't even carry them to the emergency room, but they have children. I urge all Guyanese today, black and Indian, if the government cannot give you justice, then it's only one thing to do: unite and change the government peacefully. If we cannot live in peace, then we all may have to die in peace. Because no man is above the law of no part of the world today. If I'm a thief, kill me. If I lie on you, kill me. That's the law I want in the Constitution. If I accuse you wrongfully, kill me and take everything I got. But if I did not do those things, and you do it to me, must I leave you to enjoy this world while my children suffering? My wife have to go and pick fare to survive to mind my children? And you corrupt magistrates and judges and prosecutors and police, when you set up people and lock them up for a few dollars, it's like Judas killing Jesus for 30 silver. Are you fucking people not ashamed you have children? So what do you want people to do? Leave you to God, as the preacher said? No. I, George Correa, will do what Jesus says. Do unto others as you would like them to unto you. And remember these words: presidency, kingship, prime minister, command of police station, whatever commissioner, is only a temporary job. Depends upon which side of the coin you are backing at the time. I am telling you this because I feel that it should not happen. And what happened to that man where he run in and stab up the guard, he should not do it. But unless he's mentally ill, then you cannot lock up a mentally ill man, Mr. Ali. And I think an investigation should be carried out. Nigerian is known to rob banks and other through the computer, not walking up and stabbing people to death and they got a gun in their hand. Right there you could see the mental illness and frustration of the young man, whether he's black, brown, or yellow. So, Mr. Ali, I am calling on you to change the Constitution where no man or woman is above the law, may it be president, prime minister, vice president, mayor, chancellor, commissioner, or the ordinary man. What goes to the goose goes to the gander. And if you believe in fair democracy, let's change the Constitution, because there's a clause in it stated nobody with foreign citizenship or whatever, if I remember right again, 180 or something like that, if I remember this fact, that they shouldn't sit in Parliament, because we get rid of white colonial master to replace them with servant of white colonialism, black and brown, Canadian visa and green card and citizenship for America, and sit in the Parliament according to information is alleged. And if they give it up now, it should be a treasonable offense, penalty by death, not prison, because you use the system to destroy the nation. So I'm calling on you, Mr. Ali. You are doing good. You are trying. You're better than all the rest of them. Some people says that you're only giving Indian people a job, all the airport full of Indians. But of course, the opposition people are saying that. But where were them when Bonner was ruling, when 90-something% of the civil servant was all black, in a country where there were only 200-something thousand of them? And ask the Venezuelan 120,000 family that live in Venezuela why they run out of Guyana from the black race of leadership. Ask the 40-something thousand that live in Paramaribo, Suriname, why they run. Even though those people might be corrupt, they run for safety. Because unto this day in Mackenzie and Wisma, According to information, during the 80-day strike, on to now I heard the business and houses that was taken away from the Indians still was not given back. What kind of country are we running? Are we civilized, Mr. Ali? But since you believe in Prophet Muhammad teaching, peace be unto him, I'm a Muslim like you, I call upon you to do the right thing, and may Allah be with you. And clean up your cabinet, because you got a lot of opportunities on board and a lot of square pegs in a wrong hole. And let the law be for every man, woman, and child. And an investigation must be carried out. And for you, the police officers who are beating for businessmen and politicians, I am warning you. But I call upon the people, be united and have a vigilante from now, because your life is not safe. That's all I can say. And let the police and the army patrol the street every hour. You have the potential, Mr. Ali. Your country can be taken away by neighboring country if we continue like this. So I'm calling on you, the president, to do what is right. And may Allah guide you and put you forward. And for all you wicked police, judges, magistrates, and ministers, may the curse and darkness behold your children and grandchildren, that they must never enjoy the wrong things y'all have done for people. And y'all must cripple to see what you've done to people. May God be with all of you. So friends, we all have to die. You may kill this body, but you can't kill me. I will live in your house. When you're going to have sex with your wife, you will see my fucking face. Or if you're bending over backward, you might see me holding your ass up in the air. So be careful what you ask for. Okay? I'm calling on the world to stand up with us. Human rights violation against what happened. I am in sympathy with the man and his family and the young man who committed the crime. Carry the investigation, Mr. Ali. Good luck. Keep your good job going. Peace.